one thing I can tell you right now is when that's been in there preheating, it is hot. Don't touch this metal part anywhere. Sometimes if you have something heavier, you have a tendency to want to grab it here. Do it with a pot holder or something. The thing about an air fryer, anytime you're cooking with it, don't have this up against the wall. It's got a vent back here and the air has to come out somewhere. When you're cooking something, it doesn't hurt to pull that out like in the first 5 minutes to see what it's doing, especially if it's something like French fries or frozen things. You can cook frozen stuff in this and it is great. It crisps up so, you know, nice and pretty. You will use a sprayer, and I use this a lot. So if I'm going to drizzle something, I use this. But once it starts cooking, like I'll rub it down with olive oil to get it started. Once it starts cooking, and when I turn it over, I usually will put a spray across it. And that's what this does. The way it's made, it does like an arc, like this pattern. So it sprays a wider pattern. You can cook about anything in this that you would cook in your oven. It's like a little convection oven. And the air kind of circulates around, the hot air circulates around the food. In a basket type, it has a crisper plate, or some people call it a grill. Leave that in the bottom, put your food on top of that, and that will actually make your food, keep it up off of juices that come out of meat or oil that you've sprayed on and it's kind of cooked down, and that'll help it to kind of be nice and brown and crisp, especially if you're doing fried stuff. Let's say I've got French fries in there. A lot of people think that you have to put them in a single layer pattern, and they get frustrated because trying to do something like that for your family where you'll have to do that in several batches. You can do that. It doesn't take too long because it's cooked so fast. However, you don't have to. I don't. I make homemade French fries. I'll take them and slice them how I want. And if it's homemade, when I slice those, I'll put those in cold, salted water, and I'll let them sit in that for about 30 minutes to help pull some of that starch out of the potatoes. I'll drain that off. Then I take paper towels and I dry them. I spritz them with olive oil, just pour some over it, move them around, and I'll put them in the air fryer. And 5 minutes after they're cooking, I will open that drawer and I'll kind of check. So if you have them kind of deep, let's say you have your fries in there about this deep. Well, obviously they're not going to cook as fast as they would if they were in a single layer. But I just take tongs and kind of move them around, or take the air fryer basket and shake it. Don't do it this way. I forget every once in a while. When I do, I pop that plate or grill or crisper out of the bottom. Shake it sideways like that, or just take your tongs and move them around. Put them back in, cook them for another 10 minutes, and pull them out and check them and move them around. But usually in about 20 minutes, 15 minutes maybe, the fries are done. But watch them and check them because they go fast. Another thing is, when you're cooking in this, don't turn it off. If you need to check it, just pull this drawer out. When you put it back in, it starts for you, and it'll pick up with the time right where it left off. Anything you can do in the oven, you can do in here. You can even make a cake in here if you want. You can, whatever cake pan is going to fit in here, it's fine. You can turn this on, preheat it like you would an oven. Preheating this takes like 2 to 3 minutes, a lot faster than preheating an oven. So you can make you a little cake in there if you want. I haven't done it, but I know there's a lot of recipes out there for that. I've made a beef roast with carrots and potatoes in here. I've made baby back ribs, chicken wings. I baked turkey. I made a turkey in here. I've done whole spatchcock chicken where you cut out the spine of it, open the chicken up. I've made those in here. I've made whole chickens in here. I've made chicken breast. Best ones for that is bone-in, skin on, because the skin gets so nice and pretty and crisp. You can do fast food things like you can do corn dogs. If if you have pizza the night before and you have pizza left over, you can take that pizza and you can put it in here and heat it up, and it heats fast. And it'll taste just like it did when it was delivered or when you baked it or when you made it. I've made cheeseburgers in here. They are so good. Just put your cheeseburgers in there, cook them for a little bit, and then flip them over. However, when you get ready to do your cheese, when you know it's ready for your cheese and the burgers are done, then have your cheese out and ready, open it up, put your cheese on, turn it off, shut the drawer, and let it, the heat that's in there, melt that cheese. Because the first time I did it, nobody told me that, and my cheese went flying around in there from the air that's circulating. I had a mess. I had cheese stuck everywhere. If you want to have it on, most of these air fryers come like with a little grill or a little tray, a little pedestal. You can take that, and I've turned that upside down over mine so that it lays on it. But I have found in the long run, having the cheese laid out on a paper towel or wax paper, having it ready, open that, put my cheese on, turn it off, and shut it. And it does not take but a minute, and that cheese is nice and melty. Once it started to melt and it's stuck on there, then you can shut that and turn that on for a little second if you want it to kind of get bubbly or maybe even a little brown to it. It's up to you, however you like it.